Coach, we've had a lake effect snow band sitting over Soldier Field since about 9 this morning, and it's not supposed to budge anytime soon. The good news, the folks don't seem to mind here in Chicago. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch the pass. On your team. 10.
Now a handoff here to his running back. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Off the play fake. Daniels. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9.
Check. Watch 54. Hey. Mike's 54. Mike's 54. Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's go.
Operating from the gun. Daniels. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leonard Floyd in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
Set, ready. Got double time. Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down.
A 1st down throw for Brissett. Open man is Trey Burton. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. He rifles one that's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to throw. Daniels. The throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 15. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, It's been pretty sensational.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback.
Now Brissett. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Jared Davis coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Detroit. He goes 55 yards on the punt return as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. They get the stop defensively, force the punt. They score without their offense even stepping on the field.
I remember playing on special teams and teasing the guys on offense like, look, you don't even worry about it. You guys just hang out over there. We'll bring this one all the way back and get the points we need. In this case, they actually got that done.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
A loss of 1 brings up 3rd down and 11.
Ready? Mike 51, Mike 51. Quit talking about it and bring it.
On 3rd down, Brissett. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15, and the Lions will take over. An update now from Oakland. It's the Colts in that one that have grabbed the early lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Room here to run. Dashing through the snow. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Lions strike quickly here for 6 points. Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And it's now 14-0. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away.
The Bears take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Throwing. Brissett. Gonna look deep for Wilson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
Brissett sets to throw it. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 41-yard line.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing.
On 2nd and 11 now. Brissett, and he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. It's 3rd and long for Brissett. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a 1-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
At the 4-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
I can't believe they even let you play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. From the gun, Daniels. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. 1st down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards.
And the Lions, 1st down.
Let's go. 61. Mike, 58, right there. Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on. 58, come on. 58, come on. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
On 1st and 10, Daniels. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. 1st down Lions on a pickup of 13. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a 1st down.
1st down, Lions.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
Looking to throw. Daniels. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
54.
Throwing again. Daniels. And that is incomplete. Kenny Galladay is intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, ball's out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Check it back, check it back.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Watch out. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Tighten up. Pull it together. Mike's 5-4, Mike's 5-4.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for third down.
Here we go, here we go.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
14, Bears nothing.
The Lions on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is third down and 12.
Right there.
Operating from the gun, Daniels. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 20-yard line.
Okay, it's time for me to break out my thesaurus for that one. And I don't have anything. That was amazing. One-handed in this weather. I mean, you know the ball's got to be slick. But to be able to catch it and come down with it, what do they call that? The process of the catch? He completed it all the way through.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5. At the 15.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Come on. You better bring it.
Ball. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch me.
2nd and 5. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
The Lions on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, Daniels. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. And his kick is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. That will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment?
It's funny, we had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator, and what did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Brissett. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Brissett. Looking deep downfield. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Thought they were going to force a 4th down. Instead, P.I. gives them the first.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Brissett. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. They'll run it now out of the gun. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
The Bears on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From the gun, here's Brissett. And Wilson has it. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first. A first trip to the red zone for the Bears. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Here's Brissett. And that's caught for a Bear touchdown. It's the tight end, Trey Burton. Trey Burton, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The extra point up and good, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Daniels. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
Keep it up. Keep it up.
Off play action. Daniels. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The sack there by Roquan Smith.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
I hope you got your rest, 'cause I'm about to take you to school. Get before Mike. Check. Watch before.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Daniels. And he's going to go down again. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket.
The Lions
Let's go.
first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 26-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Let's go.
2nd and 4. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 51 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. And he'll give it here to his Lions running back. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Got you, punk.
Looking to throw on second down. Daniels. And he's got his man on the out route. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Set. 60 out low. Right front forward.
No gain on this defense, no gain.
54 much.
Off the play fake. Daniels. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Whoa. He just yanked that one well to the left and no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at their own 44. To throw, Brissett. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw is Brissett. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Brissett now has hit on just 7 of 17 passes, 41%. Here's Brissett. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. Second and 10 now from the 27.
Hey, let's calm down. Hey, let's go. Calm down.
I got one.
They'll throw again. Brissett. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now. He was looking for Isaiah McKenzie that time. But now it's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 10.
So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. This from 44 yards out, left hash. And this is not going to be anywhere close. No good, way wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is. And there is nothing easy about being a kicker on a day like this.
Yeah, I tell you, not only is the footing tough in the snow, but kicking that ball is like kicking a rock. Very difficult to get any sort of feel on your kicks.
So we've reached halftime here. Charles has already thrown off his headset. He's out here. He says, it's Christmas Day. I'm going home. We're not done yet, though. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the lake effect snow set to continue for the second half of action as we are back underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Ready.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. The tackle made there by Jared Davis.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist, 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 twist.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Brissett on 3rd and 2. He's got his tight end, Burton. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions 16. Now, he's got their only touchdown. This offense struggling. They target him again.
Everyone is looking for the hot hand, and sometimes you just don't have it. Maybe it's just lukewarm. But you go to that guy and try and turn it hot. Try and get things going. Find a way to get everything kick-started. As you noted, he has only touchdown, so he's had the most success in the game thus far.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year as they are able to cut into that lead. Now the Bears keeping the offense on the field and going for 2. Brissett now to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know I know what you're thinking. Well, if he had hands, he'd be playing on offense, right?
Yeah, that's true. You've said that before.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this third quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Try to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little. This quarterback now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go.
Back to throw. Daniels. And that's complete to Jesse James. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
So So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Get that quarterback. And on court. Go 58's the mic.
Squeeze.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Bears 34-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
58's the mic. 58's the mic. I'm going to come back to you.
2nd and 6. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 20-yard line. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now.
Check 15. Check 15.
On 1st down, here's Breida. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instinct. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. To throw on 2nd down, Daniels. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Robbie Anderson with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. 2nd and 9 now. He's going to let this one go deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Touchdown, Detroit! Matt Breida. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Here we go. With the flag.
Hey, let's calm down. Hey, let's go. Let's calm down. I'm coming.
He'll drop to throw. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.
We got this.
First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Now a handoff here to his running back. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
47-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
That's what I do. One set. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Hey, tight.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Check pass. Check back.
From the gun, Daniels. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Roquan Smith able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback.
20-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
We are off to the 4th quarter here on this special Christmas Day broadcast. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Come on, D.
And to give this time to the tailback. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Yeah, baby.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. Here it's 3rd and 2. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Now this is fielded in the end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Lions will take over at the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Daniels. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Brings up 4th down.
Here's Sam Martin now. He's been terrific so far. And it's a fake here on 4th and inches. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. Well, the fake punt gets only a yard, but that's enough to pick up the first. Now, this works, so I guess I shouldn't be nitpicking too much, but they only had a couple of inches to go. Why fake punt?
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. If you're going to go ahead and try and pick it up in that short of a distance, I wouldn't even go into fake punt formation. That's like using up a big play for no reason at all. Leave your offense on the field and pick it up. But again, what were we doing? We're nitpicking, right? Because they did get it.
It worked.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 35-yard line.
Watch the slant.
They run with Breida. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45.
We want it. Come on.
And he'll give it here to his running back. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Walk 54. Hey, here I come. Here I come.
On 2nd down now. It's Hill, and he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 14 and a 1st down for Detroit. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps for these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Second and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Right there, 54 Mike.
Know your job.
They'll run it with Hill. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
And it's 3rd down.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun, Daniels. Steps away to his left. Now he'll square up and throw deep left sideline. And unable to connect, incomplete. Give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now a handoff looking right. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now Brissett. He's going to look deep down the field. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Here we go. Third ending. Watch 54. Come on.
And they take a knee.
The quarterback on the keeper. It's a loss of a yard. And it's third down.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Man up, D. Man up, D.
Take go.
And they'll indeed take a knee. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and maybe more importantly, a victory in the division, which always helps.
And on the road. How about all of that rolled up into one? Because how often do you see division games get decided by this much of a margin?
Yeah, they thumped them.
Yeah, they jumped all over them. And a division game is usually a touchdown or less because these two teams know each other better than most teams in the league. In this case, that didn't hold up. On the road, big margin, big victory. Oh, yeah, that flight home will be good.
So for Detroit, it's a critical win for them as it gets them to 9-6 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they hit double digits in losses as they fall to 5-10. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Two former division rivals in the old AFC West. The Seahawks and Chargers are underway. It's a very short kick, taken right at the 20. And a great return. Solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line.
Well, that return gives him a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
Set, ready? 18 Gator. Go!
Here we go again. Here we go again.
Hey, alert 48. Alert. Hey, we don't like the 48 right now. Let's go. Watch. Hey, zoom. Right on.
On first down, Manning. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. First carry for Nick Chubb. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. A run for Nick Chubb. That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. That one good for 13 and a Charger first. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
Hey, team 6. Team 6.
52, Mike 52.
Time to go. Night.
Now they'll throw it with Manning. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sacked there by Ray Lewis.
And the Seahawks add a couple of extra DBs going with the dime look here.
Indeed, 6 on the field.
Mike 50. Watch the run. Ready?
From the gun, it's Manning. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here we go on 4th down with Manning. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. So a pretty shaky start here for both sides.
Yeah, each quarterback's throwing a ball to the other team. Do you think on both sidelines they're sitting them down and saying, okay, remember, this is the color jersey we're wearing. They're wearing the other color. Let's make sure we get it to our guys, please.
Well, they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, Peyton. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A big third down pickup of 20 yards. Manning now on first down. Flushed out right. Now he'll pull it down. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with second and a yard.
Here we go, set, 90, roll. Now.
They'll try the left side. Peyton. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a first and goal.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Ready? 18 Gator.
Let's go. Get the ball. 48 for Mike.
Deep rip.
Manning now on first down. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Bobby Bell. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Another try after the first down sack. Manning. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's third and goal. No score after one on EA Sports.
30 base.
Check 48 to Mike. Now watch run.
Hey, Echo. Yo, 5.
Manning now on third and goal. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Mark Andrews there to make the grab as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Hauschka with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
The Chargers take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start first and 10. On first down, Chubb going to get forward for only about a couple. Second and 8 forthcoming. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Brings up second and 8.
They go with Chubb on second down. Now third down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 25 yards, the pickup there, and also a first down. I guess if you're going to run for it on third down, not a bad idea to get behind your Hall of Fame left tackle there, Anthony Munoz.
He was so good, it was like a guard and a tackle was in the same body. You know, as long as they had an extra blocker at the line of scrimmage. Phenomenal player and really prepped it well at USC, but they ran those power sweeps behind him in a big way.
Brings up second and 12 at the Seahawks 47-yard line.
Ready?
52. Let's go, Hattie. Let's go, Hattie. What you got?
On second and 12, Manning. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 26.
On the double.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. A give running right is Chubb. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down. So now facing a 3rd and 16 following back-to-back running plays that went in the wrong direction. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Manning. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
And now look at him go. 30. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Mark Andrews with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. Hauschka adds the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Chubb. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They run. Chubb. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. 3rd and 11. And some extra depth to the secondary here. They're in the dime.
Hey, exit.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Check the out, check the out, check the out. Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
Hey, lock it. Let's go.
Working from the gun, Manning. Tries for Rice, intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. So how about the turn of events there at the end of the half?
This is one where you go charging into your locker room having collected 3 points you didn't expect to get, and you look across the field and you see guys kind of pointing fingers at each other like, dude, how'd you turn it over and make us give up 3 right there?
This will be taken short. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken very short. Charger drive about to get going. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
60 outlaw.
And the Chargers first down.
They give the Chubb out of the gun. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Going for the deep ball. And this is taken in at the 5. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. It's a big one there for the Chargers. 42 yards. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll give it to Chubb. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. They'll try again with Chubb. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. This is 3rd and goal. Still looking for the first points of the game. Now Chubb. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal. Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. Manning now to throw. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Brandon Cooks there to make the grab. And the Chargers are able to close the gap just a bit. No real hesitation from Anthony Lynn. They're going to go for 2. Here's Chubb to try to run it in. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This will be taken. And oh, that is going to be a safety. And Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
10 logo.
Let's go, one more.
Check 52. Let's go.
On the ground, it's Chubb. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one good for 13 and a Charger first. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On the carry, it's Chubb. And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
60 Pittsburgh.
Let's go, defense.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Manning. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Protein spill.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Manning. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You are watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. They'll keep it on the ground. Peyton. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 10 yards and a Seattle first down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
On first down, Peyton. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll try the left side. Peyton. Look at this. Middle of the field. A breakaway. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run.